Hi, folks. Hello out there, and welcome to the Revere TV and Veterans Community Show. Today we have a real veteran of the community. He has a restaurant in Revere. It's located on
14 Malden Street.
In Revere, Massachusetts, and we have Lenny DeMaino from DeMaino's Restaurant. Lenny, thank you for coming on here.
Thank you for having me, Morris. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Right. We were going to talk about your restaurant, but first we want to talk about your family, because you are from a veterans family, and your father was in the Navy, I understand?
My father was in Navy. He was a baker, actually, in the Navy in Rhode Island during World War II. And my mother stitched Army coats during World War II for the Army, for the soldiers. And
so whatever your father did in the bakery rubbed off onto you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, although I'm more of a cook than a baker, but yeah, it started as a bakery. The restaurant is 5 generations, and started 1933. So we've been there for about 80 years, and
wow,
and you still going strong. Yeah.
And you yourself have been there how long, Lenny?
I took it over in 1976, which is probably 37 years now.
Yeah.
So we're still going. We've been here for a long time, and I just want to thank you for all you do for the veterans.
Oh,
and,
no. What I do is nothing compared to what you do. Let me tell the folks what you do. You deliver food, donate food, I should say, to the veterans at the Casa Lucia, the Beachmont VFW, the American Legion, the Matola Post, the Senior Center. I mean, can't ask anything more, Lenny, so let me thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Well, we try and do our part to give back to the community, and we give to a lot of different charities. And,
I know that.
You know, we give what we can. You know, it's hard to give a lot because there's so many. You know, but we like to give back because the community's given us so much, and they support us, and that's what it's all about. You know, and especially the veterans who put their lives on the line to keep us safe and for all that they do, and you know.
Lenny, I've been to your restaurant, not once, not twice, but many, many times. And when I went in, I weighed 120 pounds. And if you look at me now, I got a big tire around my belly. You got to stop making the food so good, Lenny.
Yeah. Well, we do have heart healthy stuff. You know, we have you know, seafood and salads, and you don't have to go for the heavy duty stuff. You got to stay away from the pasta and.
Good. Give us a rundown of exactly what you have at your restaurant, Lenny.
Well, we have pretty much a full menu. We do pizza. I mean, my grandfather started with pizza as a bakery way back when, and it kind of evolved into a restaurant. Now it's, you know, it's a family restaurant, but we have all kinds of seafood. We have veal, we have pasta, we have barbecue, pizza. I mean, we pretty much whatever you like.
By the way, I know your mother Nancy very well, and she used to go to the senior center.
She sends her regards. She thinks very highly of you.
Thank you. And she also used to go to the senior center before she got ill. I remember she, when we were down at the American Legion building downstairs, she used to come there. We would play music, and she would love it. She used to do some sewing for the servicemen during World War.
Yes,
Can you expand on that, Lenny?
Well, she sewed Army coats, and, you know, and she, you know,
Did she go looking for them, or they came to her and say, look, I need this sewed up, or I need that?
I don't know.
Or she volunteered?
I wasn't around at the time, so it's kind of, but I know that she did sew Army coats, and she,
oh, so your mother was here before you then?
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I called her and wished her happy birthday yesterday, because it was my birthday. And
oh, was it? How old are you, Lenny?
59.
God bless you. Happy birthday. By the way, Lenny.
Thank you very much.
I think you're ready for the senior center. We have lunches there, too.
Almost.
We do have Italian lunches there.
Yes.
We do have pastrami lunches there.
You just do a good job down there. I see, I hear a lot of good things, and you keep up the good work.
Right,
you know?
so I hope you don't lose any customers. If they hear how good the food is at the senior center,
absolutely.
they might come down
Absolutely. I might come down myself pretty soon. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait till
next year. We'd love to have you. We're always looking for new people, Lenny. We would love to have you. Lenny, I got to ask you, how did you first get involved in the restaurant business? Because you got to usually people that are involved go to culinary school.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I was actually born into it. I mean, since I was a baby, I was running around the kitchen, and I did go to culinary school. I went to Essex Agricultural and Technical Institute up in Danvers. They have a good culinary program up there, and Another restaurateur was my classmate, Pat Reardon.
Oh, yes.
And Louis Colarusso, he's a local landscaper. He was with me at cooking school. He ended up getting out of it, but it was a good program, 2-year program, and learned a lot. And I worked at a lot of restaurants in Boston, Stella's. I was the night chef at Stella's, and I worked down at Logan Airport for the Lepresti family, for Skyline, and I worked at Mama Leone's when they were in Boston for a short time, and I started out. I was 21 years old, and when I started back into the business.
Yeah,
on my
roughly
own.
37 plus years ago.
Yeah, 21 years old. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I was barely old enough to drink. They didn't want to give me a liquor license because I was so young. But
do you have it now, though?
yes.
Good.
Oh no, they gave it to me, but and that was my father. All the good that my father did in his lifetime, even though he wasn't there to help me, he died when I was 6 years old. So, but
That's too bad.
Yeah, because everybody thought so much of him, it made it easier for me to get started. And,
Lenny, I got to say one thing. You know, I'm drooling right now, but I have to say it anyway. You came down here with a skew of sandwiches.
well, I brought you some lunch for
Right,
you
for
and
the people
crew
here and
over
for
here.
the
'Cause-
veterans and the seniors.
Yeah.
Tell us what you got in here. Just go over them real quick.
All right. Well, we got our famous chicken parmesan, which is probably
These are
the
all
favorite.
sandwiches, right?
All sandwiches. Yeah. We have a broccoli rabi with sausage and provolone cheese. We have a caprese sandwich with fresh mozzarella and prosciutto and tomatoes, and I think we did a tuna fish sandwich, and we also brought a couple of pizzas for you. Shrimp scampi pizza, which is
Oh, man,
very good.
I'm starting to get hungry, Lenny, just talking to you.
yeah. So we hope you enjoy them.
We will. Now I got to ask you, where did you grow up first to start with?
I was born and raised in Revere. I was born
You went
on.
to the schools here, too?
Yeah, I was born on Elmwood Street, at my grandfather's house, and he had the horses in the barn. He used to deliver bread with the horse and wagon way back when, And we moved to Tuckerman Street when I was very young, and I've lived there, all my life. And I'm living back in Tuckerman Street now. I'm in the house I was raised in. And I moved up to Danvers for a while. I was up there for about 20 years, but I never really left Revere. I was always here. Every day I was working and, active in the community. And Revere's my home. I'll always,
I know that.
Yeah.
Lenny, you look good. You got a tie on. You got a nice shirt on. You come on here
Yeah,
and look at me like a bump.
I clean up pretty good, huh?
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
my grandfather, when I was a kid, I was raised by my grandmother and grandfather because my mother had 6 other kids and she couldn't take care of the oldest, which was me. He used to make me go outside and follow the horses. So when the horses dropped their behind, the dung,
Yeah.
I would pick it up, bring it to my grandfather, and he would use it for fertilizer in the garden. And we grew some of the biggest tomatoes you ever
Absolutely.
saw.
All organic, right?
Right, yep. Do you ever grow any of your own food that you do in your restaurant?
Yes, I do. I do some herbs out in the backyard, and I do have some, small garden, nothing large, but, do some basil and
Yep.
some oregano and
Chives?
yeah, we do a little of that, and yeah, we try and keep it fresh. In the winter it's hard, but you have to go to the produce center for that.
My grandfather used to teach me how to rake up the ground and turn the soil over in there. And he gave me some radish seeds one time, and they're the easiest things to grow. You just put them in. I mean, you can walk away. But I didn't know it at the time. So when the radishes first came up, I was in heaven because, I accomplished something. I think I was about 5 or 6 at the time. So when was the first time you started growing things, Lenny?
Probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
I
When I was up in Danvers, I didn't really have a garden because there was too many wild animals running through my yard. It would have been futile to try and grow stuff up there because we had a lot of wildlife up there. But yeah, probably about 10 years ago, and I have a small garden on the side of my house, and we keep it simple. We just to fool around.
Now I got to ask, I don't know if I can, well, I guess we can talk about the food, about the beer and the whiskey, the liquor license. What kind of liquors do you have at your place? If we can,
Well,
I guess we can talk about that.
full bar with liquor, beer, wine,
And what are your hours? That's another thing,
We're open Tuesday through Sunday. We open at 11, and the kitchen closes at 10 o'clock.
At night?
Yeah, and the bar shortly thereafter. We don't really stay late. We have a 1 o'clock license.
So Tuesday till Sunday?
Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And give us your address again in case
14
people...
Malden Street. Yeah, and we
Go ahead.
we do we do off-premise catering. We have a function room there. We and it's a nice family place. It's still, Revere is changing as a community.
Right.
As we can see,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
is exploding, and with all the development, and Mayor Rizzo and his team are doing a great job, and it's very exciting, but we've been there for a long time, and it's still Revere. It's the old Revere, and it's like coming home. It's like if you go there, you're more than likely to run into a lot of people that you know, and it's community, and I enjoy it. It's very rewarding for me because I get to see everybody and talk to everybody. And
I got to say this. I come from a big city. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you didn't. It's called New York. It's a big one, with about 13 million people. We've got over 50,000 plus people in the city of Revere.
Revere is really exploding. I'm
Right.
very excited. I'm very optimistic. You can see the change. You can see the energy, and I'm very excited.
And talking about change, the future, do you have any future plans for your restaurant, Lenny, that you would like to mention to us?
Well, my son is working with me, LJ. He's been with me, now for...
How old is he now?
He's 31, and since he got out of college, he's been with me at the restaurant. He was a pretty good baseball player in his younger days, and he played in 2 College World Series.
Which ones? Let's hear it.
Yeah, he played for Clemson University in a 2002 College World Series. Clemson University.
Terrific football team. I think they're ranked number 2, 3 in the country.
Yeah, but he was with the baseball team. They were ranked number 1 in the nation for about 12 weeks. And he had a great run with them, and he went to Miami-Dade Junior College. He went to a College World
That's another good
Series
school.
with them. Yeah, he broke Mickey Rivers' stolen base record. He was a leadoff guy, and he had a great run. He did everything but get drafted. So the restaurant was Plan B, So
it's funny because I played for high school, Harran High, when I was a kid, and we played Columbus High.
Yes.
And the thing that intrigued me the most when I went to Columbus High, which was located up in Manhattan or the Low Bronx, was the school that Lou Gehrig went to. I don't know if you remember Lou Gehrig.
I remember Lou Gehrig, yeah.
Talking about baseball? Yep.
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of going to Italy with my son, and they played the Italian Olympic baseball team. And we played in the Olympic Stadium in Rome, okay? And then I also had the pleasure to go to the American Cemetery in Anzio.
Oh, yeah, Anzio Beach during the war.
Okay, and that's the birthplace of Italian baseball. And the American GIs, when they came over there during the war, they brought the baseball over there, and they have a beautiful cemetery over there. I'm not it was breathtaking. It was amazing. The feeling that came over me when I was there was because all our GIs are there. It's maintained by the United States government.
You know what always intrigued me when I was a kid in the Army was the war, which I hated the war, but I mean, Mount Cassino. Did you ever visit that, Mount Cassino?
No, in Italy?
Yeah.
No, I visited Mount Etna in Sicily and Mount Vesuvius in Pompeii. I didn't go to the other one.
Those are volcanic mountains.
And also Stromboli, which is an island off of Italy. We sailed by that, So
The only place I ever got into Italy was through Austria from the north to Florence.
I haven't been up north. I've been to Florence, but they say
beautiful city.
It is beautiful. Absolutely. Yep. Italy is absolutely breathtaking. Anybody that hasn't been there should go. I mean, just the Vatican alone is worth the trip. It's breathtaking. It really is.
So you've seen the Vatican?
Yep, I was there twice. Yeah, it was.
Do you remember who the popes were at the time?
No, I don't.
Do you remember?
After all the wine and the pasta, it was kind of it was kind of a blur. But no.
No.
No, it was beautiful.
That's
It was a great
good.
experience, and to see, what our veterans, the sacrifice that they made, just being there was, and the respect that they have for us, and
Let me ask you, we had a terrific superintendent up here, beside Mr. Paul Dakin, Carol Ty.
Yeah, she is. She's on the school committee. She does a great job.
Yep.
Very nice lady.
And we had Mr. Paul Dakin, who happens to be the #1 superintendent in the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So you can see what we have in the city of Revere. We're only 50,000 out of 14, 15 million of the whole
I'll tell
Commonwealth.
you, they're doing a great job with all the new schools.
Yeah.
And, their MCAS scores are great, and they really, they work hard at it, and it's really.
That's because people like
been a
you
credit
help
to
to
the city.
contribute to the city.
Well, it's a great city. It is. I love Revere. Sometimes you just hear the bad, but there's so much good, and you like to hear about the good. And
Well, let me tell you, that's the only way you could tell the difference between the good and the bad. If there was no bad, you wouldn't be able to talk about the good, really.
That's right, right. But there's a lot of good things. I mean, geographically, you can't beat it with the beach, and 2 minutes from Boston and Logan Airport, and we got some great services. This administration, Mayor Rizzo is doing a great job, and the police department is really stepped up.
Yeah, we got a new chief.
We have a new chief. He's
Caffarelli,
doing a great
excellent.
job. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and the fire department is second to none, and with Chief Doherty, I mean, there's a lot of good about Revere, and the work that you did, and I have to say,
the work that I do is only because I have people out there helping us.
yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for you coming on here, I'd be talking to the wall.
Yeah, and I got to say, the head of the Veterans Services,
Nick Brewer, yeah, excellent, Jeff.
He's a great guy. He does so much, and he's just, he's very quiet. He just does his, his thing. But my mother loves him. She really loves Nick. And we're lucky to have a lot.
You're not jealous at all?
Not at all.
That's good.
Yeah, she thinks very, Nick just got married, but my mother really, she thinks a lot of him,
I got to tell you, I go into that veterans office and I ask either Nick or Donna Dreesen any help that I've ever needed. Any help.
Yeah.
They've always
they're
been
right
there for
there.
us.
They do a great job. They really do. And you can see it with the new memorial that they just dedicated down at the Legion for the women.
That was done.
Eileen Marullo.
Yep. Yep.
Her husband Roland was my lawyer when I started out in business.
Was he?
Yeah, he drew up my corporation papers, and he was a great guy. And
I got to say this, Eileen, believe it or not, is a woman 91 years old, or 92 almost in there, and she went out by herself, literally, to go and pick up 150 names.
And she did it. She did it.
And she started in January, and she finished 9 months later.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she had been 20 or 30 years younger, she would have been done in a week?
Yeah.
This is the kind of people that we have in Revere.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of good people, and there's a lot of good.
And I've got to say another thing. We may have a lot of good people out there, but we also have a lot of good people right here in our Revere TV.
Absolutely. They do a great job.
Yep,
yeah, they do.
They do a lot for the community. They're always out there. When they had the Shine program, they're out there. When we had the Murillo, they were out there. They come over at the senior center. We have reaching out to you.
Yeah.
People, by the way, the reaching out program is good for the seniors. If you're 60 or just a little under, we'd love to have you come to our senior center. You get a nice lunch, you have a good time, you meet people your own age. They have bocce, they have sewing, they have knitting, whatever you want to do, they have it there. They even have a pool table that has yet to be uncovered. I wish someone out there would come in and uncover it and shoot a couple of pool. You play pool?
Yes, I do. I have a pool table down in my basement.
Why don't you tell some of your customers that go down there to come up to the senior center, and we'd love to have them do the pool table.
Was that the pool table that was there from the Knights of Columbus?
I think so. It's a big one.
It's a big one,
Yep.
yes. Yep, I remember that.
I mean, you need a map to start for whatever, so you know where you're going to finish at the other end.
Also, the billiard. There was a pool room right at the corner of Broadway and Revere Street, the billiard lounge, and
Right.
it was like right across the street from my house. And we have a reunion at the restaurant once a year.
When do you have it?
It's the Monday before Thanksgiving.
And
you know,
and that's a reunion for what?
for the corner. We call it the corner. It would be the billiard lounge and Buddy Spa and.
Well, you have to come
Al's
down the
lunch.
next.
Yeah.
Lenny, the next time they come down there, send them out to the senior center to see Steve Fielding or Al Morelli,
Yeah.
and have them sign up for the pool table. You know, I'd like to see that pool table get used.
Yeah, we should have a pool tournament for old time's sake, right? Get all the
There you
the
go.
old timers.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just went to the final at bat at Hill Park. They had the final at bat at Hill Park because they're getting ready to build the school on there, and they had a good turnout over there. All the guys that played softball and everything. So Lenny O and all those guys, they had a good turnout. So
That was
a
terrific.
lot of history. There's a lot of history in the city, and it's nice to keep it alive. And
By the way, you mentioned your son. Do you have any daughters?
no, I have two boys.
And what's the other one? One was Nick. What's the other one do?
He's in financial services. He's an accountant. He's in financial services. His wife's an accountant. They have two kids, and my son LJ has two kids, and my wife Frida.
So one is Nick and one is LJ?
Yep, one is Nick after my father, and LJ is Lenny Jr. after me. My father was Leonardo, so.
A typical Italian
Yeah,
family.
but there's my boy says no more Nicks and no more Lenny. So I have a Michael and a Jake and Madison and Dante. So
So you're not going to have any more kids then?
no,
Okay.
and my wife has 3 kids. My wife Frida, and she has
What's
9.
her name, did you say?
Frida.
That's a German name.
Yes, it is. Yeah. But her father was Freddie. Her brother's Freddie.
Freddie, yeah.
She has an aunt Frida. She's Frida. She's a Moscone.
Oh, okay.
And she's Italian. She's she's a redheaded Sicilian, so she's pretty feisty. But she has three children and 9 grandchildren. So we have 13 grandchildren between the two of us, and that keeps us very busy. So
Lenny, before we wrap up, as you can see, we only got about 4 or 5 minutes left. Take a couple of minutes and do your own show. You're your own boss.
Well, I'd like to thank you for inviting me here today. It's been a pleasure.
The only reason I invited you, Lenny, is so you would bring my lunch.
That's the least I could do for all that you do. And I just like to say that, it's a pleasure being here in Revere, and I'm very excited about all the good things that are happening, and I just hope that, that this country just gets on the right path and straightens everything out. There's a lot of, like you say, there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad too. So we need to just work at that, and the work that you do and Nick does is great for our veterans, because they really deserve it. And
Lenny, I'm going to say something that you may not like because of the Italian, but I wouldn't trade the best part of all the other countries, the best part
absolutely
of all the other countries, for the worst part of the United States of America.
Absolutely. As bad as sometimes things look, it's still the greatest country on
You
earth.
betcha.
The principles that it was founded on, and our forefathers, and all the sacrifice to make it what it is today, and we could thank our servicemen for that, and
I got it. When I was overseas, I was with the Russian troops in Berlin, and I used to say to them, when Truman was president, I could say Truman is no good and nobody would harm me. And the Russian would say to me, I could say Truman is no good either and nobody would harm me, But if he had said Stalin was no good, they'd shoot him.
You wouldn't see, he'd be in Siberia somewhere making ice cubes.
So, Lenny, I want to take
Morris,
your hand.
thank you very much.
No,
It's
I
been a
want to
pleasure.
thank. No,
Okay.
I got to thank you for coming up, and I always finish up by saying, Lenny, for what you do, God bless you.
Thank
and I
you.
really mean that. God bless your mama. I hope she gets well.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
We
okay?
will.
All righty. We'll see you soon.
Right, and to
Thank
the
you.
people of Revere,
Thank you.
thank you for listening. God bless you
Thank
all.
you.
God bless our troops, and God bless our great country, the United States of America. And thank you all for listening. Till the next time. As you can see, we have
Absolutely.
great guests coming up, and today we had Lenny DeMaino.
Thank you very much.